Hi,
Hello.
everybody. Welcome to Ask Us Anything, and you'll have to forgive us. Mike is chuckling because
She
I
did
got
it
here
again.
with about 2 seconds to spare.
I don't know how you do that. I mean, I just don't know how you did
I
it.
don't know how I do it either,
Literally,
but I'm here.
Phyllis
Bit of
was
a
in,
mess,
and I were
but-
talking in the green room. Really, it's no room. It's all virtual. Well, we'll call it the green room. And she says, it's 39 seconds to go, and Jennifer's not there. Where is she? And the door opens, and we're in our Montana fifth wheel, in a beautiful night. And she walked in, and it was 19 seconds to go, and then we started the intro.
Then I
and
bumped the table.
it looks like she's here.
I'm here.
But hey, look at that. We
Got-
just showed our
got
cool
some merch.
cups. You seen our cool cups?
They really are
lifestyle
cool.
cups.
I
They have
like
in
them.
different colors, and they're really nice coffee cups.
Lots of fun.
You get this on
colors.
our merch store. So welcome, everybody. We are, boy, you're good, Phyllis. Phyllis put that up already. As we can see our merch and our books and all of that stuff. And we are here to answer your questions and your comments. Hey, quick announcement. Over on our community, we've sort of repurposed and renamed one of the spaces we have. If you know what we're talking about, our community is an online group. It's kind of like Facebook, but it's off Facebook, so it doesn't have any of those problems. There's the address on the screen. But one of our spaces, which is like a discussion area, you find the spaces on the left end, is podcast questions and comments. That's what it's called. And that is where, when we answer questions on our podcast or take comments that we share with the larger audience, that's where we will go first to draw those questions out. So we want to invite you, since you're already here and you're kind of part of our online community, go over there to that site, post a question, and we'll do our best to answer them on the following podcast. In this case, you post something tonight, we will try and answer it on our podcast for Wednesday. So help us out with that. And then we have it all in one spot. We can gather them. And my secret to it is that other community members will help answer the questions. So I'll get lots of help. It'll be good. All right. We'll talk. Let's see. Let's do some questions and comments from everybody. Let's see where you're all checking in. Mitch is checking in from BC, British Columbia. Linda Ward.
From rainy Robbinsville, New Jersey.
Yeah. It's been
Well,
raining
not
here.
raining here. It's
Ron
pretty right
Wojcicka.
now. Hello, Mike and Jen from rainy upstate New York.
Yep. It's been raining all last day and a half, but it just moved out like a couple hours ago. Look at how nice and sunny it is. Pam Morrison.
Okay. Do I need to use a surge protector at the power supply in the campsite if I have a surge protector already installed in my RV at an LTV 2022 Unity? Thanks, from San Francisco.
Yes, Pam, you should. Now, Leisure will say, no, you don't have to. And they do have a surge protector in there, but we had Leisure's, and I always had a surge protector that I put in at the pedestal that I connected with. And I'll tell you why. It's because if that pedestal, when I connect, has reversed polarity in it, which has happened to us, that surge protector will tell me what the problem is. Now, true, the surge protector in the Leisure would probably stop power from going through, but you wouldn't know what the issue is. You would just say something's wrong with my system. But here I know that the system, because of that the signal it gives me when it goes wrong. I'm pointing to my surge protector, which I'm looking at right outside
Just
the window.
wondered what you're pointing.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. And there's just something assuring to me that I can look at that and I see the lights are showing me that it's working and that everything is good. If there's a brownout, that surge protector helps regulate any spikes in the power coming. And it's great. Now, is it redundant? A little bit, yes. But I still think it's worth it. In your case, it's a 30 amp surge protector that you would get with that Leisure. So they're not a huge amount of money, but it's extra peace of mind. And I always had one. Do you absolutely have to have one? No. If you are okay trying to troubleshoot something, if it goes wrong, which it doesn't very often. I mean, we've had reverse polarity once, and we had another one that didn't work. It just didn't work. And the surge protector that the external one told me, hey, there's no power coming through to this. I would have figured it out eventually, I guess, but I highly recommend one. So there you go. Jimmy Land.
Do you pack a little cooler for the truck,
Why did I do that? Who went that? Get out of there. That's
or do you stop and
I gotta stop that because that does that all the time.
or do you stop and go in the fifth wheel when you want a snack? We pack a little cooler, bring it along. I try to think of whatever we might need, and I bring it along.
But we tend to stop when we're towing a fifth wheel. We tend to stop at rest areas, and you'll usually have, because the refrigerator's running and it's cool, and you will usually stop and just go in and grab cold stuff out of the refrigerator if we're having more than just a couple of apples or something.
Yeah, I try to get a little bag of food ready for Bo to go, and I make us a sandwich and have some sliced apples or something.
And that's one of the things about towing. When we had a motor home, it was so nice because you could get up. I liked it because I didn't have to stop for restrooms. I could just, if somebody had to use the restroom, and you just kept driving. Jennifer could go back and take a nap.
I'm big into naps.
As I said, Jennifer, I never got a chance. Well, once maybe or twice, but not much. So we kind of missed that about motorhomes. And we just did this series on Class Bs, and it was nice. I got to say, it was nice to have that convenience of going to the refrigerator. We are, by the way, going to continue that series. Many of you have written and said, hey, how about this? How about that? And Nick Schmidt has come up with some more models for us to test out. And we're in Southwest Michigan. He gets them from Elkhart, which is just a few minutes away from us. And we will probably pick up some more to test from Nick. We're meeting with another big RV dealer conglomerate this week. And we're going to talk about doing some tests with Class A's and Class C's. So to those of you who've asked if we're going to do more reviews like we did with the Class B series, yes, we will.
We're trying.
We've got a big one coming next Saturday, movie length almost, on the Brinkley. Now, we've been covering the Brinkley ever since they introduced it at the Super Show 2.5 years ago. And lately, there's just been all these rumors circulating about the Brinkley. It is certainly the most disruptive of all the towables out there. So many people are talking about it, about quality, about the cost, and rumors. So we're going to go find out get behind all these rumors. What's true? And
we put on our investigative reporter.
What would you call us? Investigative RVers.
Yeah.
And we are going to show you the size of this campus, which is huge, that Brinkley has built, all brand new. And we're going to interview one of the owners and get him, put these rumors right to his face and get him to respond to them. We do a tour of the manufacturing, show you how they're made. And then we're going to do a review on their flagship model, the Model Z. So all that's coming next Saturday on the RV Lifestyle YouTube channel. And
so we get down here, you just get in there and you get to work, boy.
Yep, I started editing it, but it's a lot. We got a lot of moving parts in that. Okay, let's get back to questions. Chris Mondobiondo out there in Oklahoma City and Kansas.
Hello, RV Lifestyle friends from Upper Storms, Kansas.
Storm upon storm.
Storm upon storm.
In Kansas. I just saw Chris posted something about Oklahoma City's under a tornado.
Oh, sorry.
And it's like every day, Chris. What's going on out there? Chris we have a RV weather discussion group in our community, and Chris has been very active in there with all this storm activity across the midsection of the country, and he's been really helping us figure out what's going on. Check that out, by the way, the RV weather space on our new community.
I think that's the best way to get your weather information is from other people that live around the country, because they can tell you what's going on in their neighborhood.
Yep. Bobby Craven.
Okay, what is the best time of the year to visit Zion?
Right now and in October.
When it's not so hot or crowded.
Really hot. And it is even 5, 6, 7 years ago, we kind of gave up on Zion in the summer because it's just so amazingly crowded. There's no place to park. You got to take buses everywhere. You got to stand in line for the buses. It's first come, first serve. So your best time is spring and fall to visit Zion. It's most comfortable then as well, the temperatures. And but by all means visit Zion. It is
Beautiful.
an awesome place.
Watch the weather when you're there.
Yeah, flash floods, amazing what they can do in that river that you get to wade down. Bradley Olson.
Okay, you've mentioned that after the Sunday night program, there is an afterglow where there is more discussion.
Well, we just call it that, Brad, but over on our community, because the community has live chat functions, so people can talk among themselves, or they can just open up a general conversation about anything. And so there are people who on our community, there's no place to go, just go to the community and, look at the feed that's coming through, and people will be making comments or talking. And so we call that our afterglow. We always check in after we disassemble everything and get ready to, I don't usually do it until just before dark, but there's people in there talking. So just in the RV lifestyle community, Bradley, no special place. Go in and there'll be more discussion. Sharon H.
What is the best time of year to visit Big Bend National Park to have good weather while avoiding large crowds?
April, last month. And again, fall. It gets really hot in Big Bend. And the one caveat about April is it's a really big peak time at spring break, which usually is in April and lasts for several weeks. There's a lot of people who go. But again, the heat and the crowds at Big Bend, as in all of our national parks. So spring and fall is a general statement that's true of any of our national parks as to the best time to visit.
And I prefer fall.
Yeah, I do too. And then, yeah. So right now would be nice, but it would be pretty warm still. It's really warm. So Jack Partain.
Please explain the difference between a surge protector and an EMS.
Well, at its basic, a surge protector alone is just going to protect you from no power, from those power spikes that sometimes come in a brownout or after a storm. An EMS or electrical management system is a little more comprehension than that. It's going to watch and monitor voltage and give you, more checks and balances. Often they're the same thing. The lower priced surge protectors only, the EMS with more of the bells and whistles is usually $100 or $200 more per unit. If you can get an EMS, they're particularly important to 50 amp units, which seem to run a lot more appliances. They have higher draw refrigerators, residential style refrigerators, which can be easily damaged by inadequate voltages. Although it depends on what kind of refrigerator you get. If it automatically jumps over to propane, if there's no power, you're usually okay. But you want safe, clean, regulated, clean waved power. And that's what an EMS system does, more than just protecting you against power spikes, which is what a basic surge protector does. You get more, the more you pay, the more you get. That's how a quick way. KK Kayak in Monticello, Wisconsin.
69 and sunny. That sounds absolutely delightful.
Gaylord, Michigan.
We're very familiar with Gaylord, Michigan.
Yeah. Thomas Welch. Yep. And Thomas is, I just was looking, we're getting our AIM tags printed for the gathering, which we have in less than a month. No, just about a month. Starts on the 11th or 12th and Shipshewana in a month. So I saw, and Thomas is one of the people going to Shipshewana with us all. Mary Brown.
Greetings from Arizona.
Hey, Mary.
Bet it's getting warm there.
We'll be out there in 2 weeks from tonight. We'll be out in Arizona. Yeah. I don't know if we'll be able to do our Ask Us Anything because I don't think we arrived till late. Inka Schultz is in Ave Maria, Florida.
84 and clear.
Sounds pretty good.
Sounds pretty warm.
Yeah, sounds really nice. Steve Weistock.
After 40 months, 9 days, we finally picked up our new Wonder.
Wait, stop right there. You waited 40 months, over 3 years, 3 and almost a half years. That is patience. That is really patience.
And they finally picked up their Wonder all-wheel all-wheel drive rear twin bed on Friday. We're interested in getting a dash cam. What are you using? I can't find the information in your Amazon channel.
I'm using
You checking?
something called, oh,
What's there?
there it is, the Vifo dash cam. Can you see that? That's my app, and that is what it looks like. I'm glad I saw that question. I just opened up my app page, and it does a great job. It says connect camera, but the camera's off, so I can't connect it and show you. But I use that, and there's a million dash cams. They all are good, but that's the one I use.
And I think you're going to love your Wonder, because we loved ours.
Yep. We really like that Ford Transit chassis for
Mhm.
Class Bs, or in your case,
You should
technically you're a B. You're still a B, I think.
Well, you're a C.
Oh yeah, it's a technical C. They call it a B plus, but yeah.
It's really a C.
Yeah, but you're on the cutaway Ford chassis, so
Mhm.
yeah. Enjoy it, Steve. It's great. Wendy Rice.
Looking forward to the Class C reviews. I
Yeah.
am too. I'm looking forward to riding around in some different vehicles. I had
Yeah.
great fun with the Bs.
Yeah, well, we're going to do some more Bs. We're going to
Yeah.
do some Cs, and we'll know this week if we're going to do some As as well. So that could be a lot of fun.
Where is Bo?
Yeah, where is Bo?
Bo is in the kitchen because I came out to the fifth wheel and I was really short on seconds. And Bo would have been distracted. So he got left in the kitchen. He's got to be absolutely heartbroken.
But
And he doesn't like to come into the RV. And while we were on, we would be doing this, he would be at the neighbors.
well, the neighbors to us have some free range chickens, and Bo was pretty good. He just chases them away. They also have a cat,
Couple cats,
and then
couple dogs.
And he just, we don't want him running off. We have 10 acres here, but he always has to go on the other side of the property line. So dogs do. I do have a satellite collar for him, and it's not on him tonight. But Bo is kind of like in the doghouse with us tonight.
Oh, it's not his fault.
Well, he is a tick magnet.
He came in because it was 5:30 and he hadn't had his dinner yet. And I can't believe usually about 4:30 he starts telling me it's time to eat. And he's rubbing all up against me. And I was trying to get some things done. And, you should be petting your dog. Just like kids. They'll be gone before you know it. But anyway, he was all over me. And then as soon as he left, I looked down and I had this great big tick on my arm. And I'm just like, oh.
If you were here watching us last week, I was on and there was a tick on right here on me, crawling as we were going on live. And then I've had maybe 2 more on me this week, and we've pulled 2 of them in our house that we saw that Bo brings in.
This is tick country.
The whole country is tick country, except far west right now, but you'll have it eventually because they're moving west.
Yeah, I was having trouble because I was distracted. There was a bug right there. And then there's a stink bug right up there behind us. But I thought I shouldn't be too crazy. And
right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
There was one running around over there. If he would have been a tick, I would have gotten up and gotten him. But just an insect.
Yeah, it's horrible. Somebody said last week when we talked about they really tick them off. And they do. We ticks. But it's just.
We looked at baby chickens today. We had a whole bunch of baby chickens for like $1 each.
Tractor Supply was selling baby chickens for $1 each. Chickens eat ticks, but coyotes eat chickens, and we've got enough coyotes out here that we aren't gonna. And I don't have time to build a chicken coop, and we're not home enough because we travel so much. So, okay, we got the
gotta
shop
get back
up.
to we gotta focus.
All of our gizmos and gadgets and merch and books you can find right there. The things that this is Amazon. This is where the products that we use, including the tick key, which gets ticks off. We have so many of those now. We have put them in just about every drawer of the RV and our home. And you can find those there.
I think the worst thing about the ticks, I'm always like scratching. I'm just like, do I have one on me? And I get kind of.
And that country western song, I got to check you for ticks. I mean, literally, you do just about every day. We have to check each other for ticks. But, what are you going to do? You move to Arizona, but there you got rattlesnakes and scorpions. So I think chickens, we'll have to get a chicken tender. Get it? Okay, let's go back to the questions.
Yes, please.
I'm being punchy here today. All right, there are no more questions. Well, then we can end. We'll just end it. You guys don't ask questions. We're going to end. Look at that. wow, this is the shortest one we have ever done. How many people are in it? Well, we have 200 and almost 30 people. No, they're all leaving now because I said we're going to
I
end
just
it.
said we're going to end.
Okay, well, we will. So thank you guys.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Have you done much fishing lately? No, I haven't fished in years.
But you'd like to fish.
I talked to the wagon master who is going to be leading our tour of the Maritimes in a couple of months in July and August. And they asked me what I'd like to do. And I said, I'd like to do some fishing. And so they were going to find some fishing to do. But that might not good. Somebody says, get a possum. We have
Yes.
possums. They're all over the place here. Fat possums, but there's that many ticks. Let's see. Jim Davis had a comment here someplace. There it is. He liked our bee reviews. And what did he say? What's he saying?
You mentioned the ease of maneuverability and parking, etc. Did you find the Wonder much different?
No, the Wonder was great. You know, that's on the Ford Transit. So
it's not that much. Actually, is it any larger than the bees? The bees can be.
It's a little wider because it's on the cutaway, so it's a little bit wider, but it's not as quite as maneuverable as a Class B because it's bigger, but handles really well. I mean, not anything you would really notice. So it was good. I think that's our favorite of all the leisure travel vans now is the Wonder. And if we had a leisure, we like that rear bed version of the Wonder. That's a very nice B+. Gene 5, Mercedes, Ford, Ram, thoughts on longevity. You know,
Mercedes are supposed to last forever, aren't they?
Well, a diesel engine is going to run longer. You know, I mean, what FedEx is getting 250,000 plus out of theirs. They maintain them well. But Ford, Ram, they all
should be good.
They're all good. You know, it will run longer than you'll probably use the RV. So that all of those chassis, I think. Judy, we got rid of our leisure months and months ago.
Just a couple months ago, and I missed it.
Back in December.
Well.
Yeah, so it's gone. You miss it? We didn't use it.
I know.
And we just didn't use it. And so we sold that. It's gone. We have just the Montana fifth wheel. And you spent the day cleaning it. I checked all the tires and put air in them tonight. They've all held up really well. And we've got, my big project yesterday was pulling out all of the pass-through storage, organizing it, making sure I have everything that we want.
That's excellent thing to do.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, actually.
Yeah.
As with cleaning it.
Couple of trips before the big trip.
James Massey.
He wants to hear about the fall meetup.
Yes, I said we were going to announce it today, but we aren't ready for it. I guess I could tell you where it's going to be, and Phyllis is having a fit. I'm going to tell them where it is. Why can't they know that? They should know in October because then they can plan. Why can't
Remember,
they know?
Phyllis, he's a reporter.
Why can't? I mean,
you can tell them the state that it's in,
right.
But
yes,
we don't want people contacting the campground before we have everything set up.
Oh yeah, you know why we can't do it?
Yeah.
And we have this all the time.
Whenever we announce it. But you can tell them what state it is and
I just
general location. That's okay.
How angry I get at the cheapsteaks. They say, well, we're not going to pay your cost. We're just going to book our own spot there and crash it. And they try. They do. And that just drives me nuts. Well, it's just rude. It's not. But okay, we are going to tell you because I know you don't do that. It'll be in Florida. Okay, it'll be in Florida. And it will be in October. I got to look at the dates. Can never remember the exact dates. I mean, we're locked into this pretty solid. So it's going to be in Florida at an awesome spot. And it will be, I believe, Wendy, do you know the dates? Type it in the text, will you? I see Wendy's on text. She says, yes, tell them the dates. Tell them the state. I did, but we need to tell them the date too, so they can comment on it. Well, nobody's telling me that. Okay, I'm just going to put it out there because I don't see anybody texting it. I believe
You better not say if you don't know.
it's the
Okay, October
8th through
8th
the
to the 11th.
Is that a Sunday? No, that's right. That's in October.
No.
Okay, no, it's a good thing. October 8th through the 11th, and it's in Florida. And I'm not going to tell you. Well, I guess I can tell you it's in the Panhandle of
Mike,
Florida.
will you just stop?
Well, I got it. So there's a big difference. If it's down south, that's 400 miles away. So now they
Yeah.
know where it is.
Okay.
And we picked that because then it's easier for people who are farther away to get to. The weather is spectacular. So it's a Tuesday to a Friday, October 8th through the 11th, and it is in Florida. That's all I can tell you right now. So if you want to save it, go for it. Now, I got to tell you that when we announce this, they all sell out. This is going to be a little different than most of us. Florida, as you know, is a pretty popular destination. And in order to get these sites, I had to pay for them in advance, which I did, but there's no refund. So if you book this, you better come or there won't be a refund because you don't get a refund. Because I'm not going to eat the cost of the tickets. So this is going to be a little different than most of them. So even with emergencies, I can't get a refund. All they do is they promise to give you at this resort we're staying at, that they will give you they'll give you that time at a future date. But I can't refund any of the money because I paid for it and it's gone. So when we announce it, just be aware of that there's no refunds on this one. There's a lot to do. We're going to have a great time. The weather will be beautiful. When we announce this, we announce it first, 2 days head notice to those who are our supporters. And they find those on the community.rvlifestyle.com. All the supporters, that's one of the perks they get for the financial support they get. It's one of the perks they get is advance notice on our meetups. If you're a regular, you know we keep our meetups to about 25 to 30 rigs, never more, because we want to be able to interact with everybody. And 50, 60 people is the most 2 people can interact with, really, in a week. As we hang out with you and they're on site with you 24/7. So we will announce it to our supporters first, and then they get first crack at the tickets, and then after that we announce it to the rest of the community. People keep saying, why don't you make them bigger? Why don't you make them bigger? And it's a lot of work. It is. I mean, people, if you've ever put on a rally or a gathering, you know the amount of work that goes into it. So that's when it's going to be. If you are interested in it, you now know the dates and you know the general location, and we will give you the specifics as soon as it's and written up. I think I'm good. Jeff Reed.
Are you coming back to Circle M in Pennsylvania this year? Kids met you last year at the campground. Coming back to Circle M.
I don't think we've ever been. I don't know what Circle M is. I think, Jeff, you met somebody else. It wasn't us.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it wasn't us. Maybe somebody other influencers, but it wasn't us. We weren't at the Circle M. Pam Morrison, do you ever get out to California?
Not very often. It's a long drive.
Not very often. We will be in Arizona and Nevada, but all work, so I won't have a chance to meet anybody. It'd be nice if we could have done a meetup out there, but that's coming up in 2 weeks. Gene S. Travado versus Wonder.
On being able to park at most locations. With the difference, probably the Travado's easier to park.
I think the Travado is easier to park. Yeah, The versus the Wonder. The Wonder's just a little wider and it's a little taller, I believe, too.
Yeah,
so.
C's are boxier. They're bigger.
Yep. Now everybody says, "Oh, it's a B plus." That's because our friend Dean from Leisure Travel Vans made up the term B plus. A B plus is actually a Class C. Look at your title and your insurance; it's a Class C. But they call it a B plus because it's built a little different and it's a little smaller than traditional Class Cs.
And I had one RVer say to me, "It's not a B plus; it's really a C minus."
That's what they should call it
because it doesn't have that overhang in the front. They took that away.
That cab that you see that over.
Yeah. So it's really minus that.
C minus. That's what we're telling you. You're in a C minus. Yeah, I can see
But-
why they
but
call it
the
a B
name
plus.
plus,
Yeah.
it's a little more than a B because
Yeah.
it is more than a B. It's larger.
Yeah, but it's not quite a
But it's
C,
not a
so
C.
it's a C minus. B plus, C minus. Doesn't work out that way. But anyway, they're great. We love
They
the
are
Wonder,
great.
but the Travato's probably a little bit easier.
And I think most people like the extra room of the B plus
Yeah,
C.
Yep. Yep.
Because I mean, you can get a huge C. You can get a C that's humongous.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a thing called the Super Cs, which are really big.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I
And
think
a B is kind of a B. I mean, you got the van body, and that's it.
Yep. Yep. All right, so lots coming on the podcast this Wednesday. I'm going to answer all your questions about lithium batteries. We will learn about if you want to replace your existing AGM or wet cell batteries. We will tell you what you need to know about that if you're going to replace those with lithium. We'll talk about what size inverter to choose, how to pair it up with solar, who lithium is for, who it's not for, and why lithium, even though they're pretty expensive, why they make a lot of sense for a lot of our viewers. So that's going to be a fun interview. Plus, we're going to introduce something new on the podcast, and we don't know what to call it, so we're calling it Mike and Jen's Story Time, where we just kind of talk about the little segment that'll be at the end of every podcast. Little stories that we have picked up on the road, things that have happened to us, experiences we've had over almost going on our 13th year now of doing the RV lifestyle. So we'll see how everybody likes that. We'll try a few of those, but real spontaneous, just conversation about some of our stories. We have stories.
And if they got better things to do, you can just move on.
Yep. Yep. Let's see. B plus sounds better than a C. Yeah. Is insurance less on a C minus than a B? I don't think it's any different. One of the questions everybody asks is, why does a class B cost so much money? More so than even a class A. And that's a really good question until you stop to think about it. And then you realize that a class A and a class C are basically boxes. They get a chassis, a cutaway chassis with just the cab, or it's a bus, it's like a bus, but it's basically just the cab and a chassis. And they create a bus for a C or an A, and they just bolt it on. That's really what you do with a trailer, with a fifth wheel, with the class C. So you can just make that box really easy. And if you go to factories that you'll see in the tour we're going to do from Brinkley, they put the floor down and they put a wall up, and you can configure that easily however you want. But it's your box. You can kind of make it however you want. With a B, it's basically a van, and the walls and the roof and the floor are constrained, and you have to sort of custom fit everything in there. Now they have some things they can kind of roll in, and all the wiring is on the harness, so it's a little easier, but still it takes a lot more work and tweaking to outfit a class B than it does a C or an A, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, you'll see it. So I think insurance is probably the same on most of them. I don't think that's a factor. So, okay, we're done. I don't think we have anything more. We got to tell them anything. What are we doing? Oh, we're going, no Ask Us Anything next weekend. It is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day.
Almost Mother's Day.
And we are going to go spend it with Wendy and her family. And we're going to do some camping as well, and have some fun just hanging out. So rather than having to rush back for Mother's Day, we are going to just take the night off. So hopefully you guys too will be able to celebrate Mother's Day. And if not, come back the following week and we'll be here. Thanks for being there so much. We'll see you on the podcast on Wednesday. Bye, everybody.
Happy trails.
Knew you were going to say that. I was kind of waiting for you to say it. Bye.